Take me back to the moment when motherhood actually started.
Oh, it's a funny story. You don't get a crush on me, but I'm like, I like girls. Yeah. Hey, so just one day, it happened. And it's crazy because I was feeling sick. I think I got the stomach flu. She was like, all right, go to the doctor. I said, okay, go to the doctor. They was like, we're going to just do a pregnancy test. I said, for what? And they was like, just in case. I was like, but I'm lesbian. She was like, okay, we just going to do it. Sister was sitting with me. She came back, she said, congratulations, Miss Maddox. You're about to be a mom. I said, who? So my sister was like, I am here. I was like, ma'am, you gotta do another test.
They make it look so easy, so cool. But if you only knew how we do the good, the bad, the ugly. We get vulnerable, the highs, the lows, everything you wanna know. Top mom to me, top mom to me. Oh, top mom to me, 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 top mom to me.
Welcome back to another episode of Talk Mom to Me. Today I am here with the beautiful Latanya, and she's going to share her story about not wanting to be a mom, dealing with a child with disabilities, going through postpartum, and much more. And she's going to share her story. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for trusting me. And I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm ready to get started. I know you have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
And yeah, go ahead and tell the people who you are and where you're from.
My name is Latanya. I'm from Lancaster, Virginia, not Pennsylvania. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
If you heard of the Northern Neck, that's pretty much where I'm from. Play outside. He had farms and stuff like that. But then I graduated and moved to the city.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been here since 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to college and...
I just left and went to work.
Okay.
I started working in Newport News at Comp USA. That's how long ago it was, 2003.
Okay.
And trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life because I was playing basketball. I wanted to play for UNC. Didn't happen, but it's okay. But then went to Comp USA, met some beautiful people, and learned that I like computers.
Okay.
And I was good at it. And so I had a customer come in who bought a computer from me, and he was like, if you only go and get your degree, I can get you a job with me because you're good at it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
But motherhood, it was some challenges. I started at a 2-year college.
Okay.
Then I stopped. I started again. And I stopped. And then I started back in 2017 at Virginia State. And I got my computer science degree.
What college did you go to before?
Brightpoint. It's Brightpoint now.
Okay.
So I went there, got a business degree, thinking I wanted to be an accountant.
Yeah.
No. I like numbers.
I'm sure that was a rude awakening for you.
No, I didn't like it. I like the business aspect, but I can't see myself sitting there doing people taxes or just keeping up with all of that. You're responsible for people money.
Yeah.
No. And so I just got my business degree, and then I was like, okay, now what? And like I said, I met the guy, and I said, well, let me go ahead and do that. But then nobody told me it was different avenues. Computer science, engineering. So now I'm like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Went into computer science, realized it was coding. Not what I wanted to do, but it was intriguing. I like challenges. So yeah. So I went there, graduated in 2020. And but strangely, I'm in the mental health field.
So how did you end up in the mental health field?
So I was working at Best Buy.
Okay.
A new manager came in, and he basically said, you have to choose full-time with me or go to school. You can't do both. Now, my previous manager said it was fine. I was here, adjusted the schedule, things like that. So I was like, man, what I'm going to do? So I'm like, I got to go to school. I want to finish school. That was just something I wanted to do. And I said, I quit. I said, I'm going to give you my 2 weeks notice and I'm going to school. And so at the time I was with my partner and she was like, I can get you in a job where I work. I said, mental health? And she was like, yeah. So she introduced me to her boss. We sat down and talked. And she was like, you're hired. Yeah. And so it was flexible because I went to school. I did 6 classes each semester so I can graduate in 2 years. So
why did they want you to pick at Best Buy?
He was a little arrogant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a little. It was one of those things like everybody knew I was good at what I was doing, and when a new manager come, they was like, "Tanya, she awesome. She be leading the computer department," and he didn't like. He came in and just didn't like that, and I'm like, "It's not a competition. Right. We all trying to do the same thing," and so I went to sign up my classes, and I was giving him my schedule. Think there was no problem.
Wow.
Yeah, he said he couldn't help me. So I was like, okay.
Hey, everything happens for a reason,
It
right?
does.
Yeah.
It does.
So do you like being in the mental health field?
I do. I like people.
Okay.
I'm a people person. So I just like people. With clients, I just make them feel human. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all they want. It's just to feel human. And understand they're not the only one that struggles.
Oh, yeah.
So, you look at me, you be like, oh, she not struggling. It was hard. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Who was Latanya before being a mom?
Playful, outgoing, always with my friends. Nothing kept me still. I was always on the go. I always found something to do. I did work. You wouldn't think I did, but I was always, every weekend was a weekend. So I just enjoyed friends. I enjoyed my cousins. They were like my sisters and brothers. So we did things together. So I think at that time, I didn't know who I was because it's just a small county. Like, it's just not that much to do.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what you want to be. Like, I didn't know what I wanted. I knew I just want to play basketball. That was all I knew. And so when basketball wasn't it, I was like, I know I didn't want to stay there.
Yeah.
So I just up and just moved to Newport News. And then I got a job.
Did you know anybody in Newport News?
I had some family there.
Okay.
I had a couple uncles, a few cousins. And I stayed with my uncle for a while when I got the job. And then I met somebody at work who was my best friend, and she was like, "You can come live with me."
Oh, nice.
And so we lived together.
Yeah.
And I did good at the CompUSA there, and then the supervisor was like, "I'm moving to Richmond. I need another supervisor. Come with me." And I just like, okay.
Yeah.
I never said
nothing
no.
holding you back, right?
I said okay, and I went.
Okay.
Yeah.
You felt like that was a good move for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Newport News, but I feel like Richmond had more opportunities. Newport News is growing now, but I feel at the same time Richmond was a better fit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you describe motherhood in one word?
Challenging. Every phase.
Yeah.
It's different phases. Nobody tell you about the different phases. You think, in my head I was like, I have a son, it's going to be easy. Because girls are hard, they'll say. And no. It's the same. Yeah. It's just different phases. So, of their behaviors, and it's just different phases.
What would you say is the hardest phase? I would say the easiest. Let's start with that.
The easiest phase is just taking care of them. I think the hardest phase is when they go through changes and trying to adapt and trying to make sure you guide them in the right way.
Yeah.
Because how I grew up is totally different. And so I never wanted my son to grow up like I did. And what I mean by that, trauma. I couldn't stop it. He still experienced some trauma, but I just knew I wanted something different.
Yeah.
And that is hard. Trying to break chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those generational curses.
Oh man, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And everybody like, oh, it's easy. You just no, because it's instilled in you. So now you have to change you.
Yeah.
To be, for your child.
I agree. What made you say yes to doing the podcast?
I tell my friends about my story. They know my story. Nobody else. Like only my friends. And I think I want the world to know, like, it's a lot of people look at it, they have it so hard. But I'm like, you're not the only one. Yeah. Motherhood is just, everything is on us.
I'm learning that.
Because we carry the child, we bear the child, we are strong. That's how we looked at it. Like, and then it's just like, but y'all have no idea what I do when these doors close, when I'm in my room. I be crying sometimes. Yeah. I be like, God, why? Me and God be having arguments all the time. And I'm like, but then I be like, all right, I got this. So it's like, you're pushing your own self. You're being your own cheerleader. You're trying your best to keep it together for your children because you don't want them to see you have that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want them to still see you strong, but you're breaking inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take me back to the moment when motherhood actually started for you.
So it's a funny story. I've known Jay's father when I was younger. I had a best friend. They were best friends. And he always had a crush on me, but I'm like, I like girls. Yeah. Hey, so, but just one day, it happened. And it's crazy because I was feeling sick. Mm-hmm. My sister, when she gets sick, I get sick, right? So if she get the stomach flu, I'm going to get stomach flu. If she get the flu, I get the flu. So she had the stomach flu. So hers went away, and then I started feeling sick. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Mom, I think I got the stomach flu. And she was like, all right, go to the doctor. I said, okay, go to the doctor. They was like, we're going to just do a pregnancy test. I said, for what? And they was like, just in case. I was like, but, I'm lesbian. She was like, okay, we just going to do it. So I did it. And she came back. My sister was sitting with me. She came back. She said, congratulations, Miss Maddox. You're about to be a mom. I said, who? So my sister was like, I thought you was gay. And I'm like, I am gay. I was like, ma'am, you got to do another test. And she was like, ma'am, I was like, please do another test. I was like, I don't care how much it costs, just do another test. So she did another test.
Oh, that's funny.
She said, you're pregnant. So me and my sister just walking out of this building, like, confused. And so she was like, when did you have sex with men? I said, I didn't. Like, we were just in the, and then it was just silent. So now we get home to my mom's, and I'm like, she was like, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna have to tell my mom. And I called my mom. I said, Mom. Now, let me take that back. When I used to go to the doctor, I was like, Mom, I'm pregnant, because my mom always say, you're never gonna be pregnant. I ain't gonna never get a grandchild. And I used to come back and say, Mom, I'm pregnant. She'd be like, stop your lying, girl. You gonna cry wolf one day. Well, I cried wolf. Called her. I was like, Mom, I'm pregnant. She said, stop lying, child. What the doctor say? And then I cried. I said, Mom, I'm pregnant. So she's like, who is the father? And me still in shock. I said, I don't know. She said, what do you mean you don't know? It was just a whole mess. That whole thing was a mess. Man. It was just a mess because I think the moment I had with his father, I put it in the back of my head.
So you forgot.
I just put it in the back of my head. I didn't think about it. no more.
Oh, wow.
And
it was like a one-time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, let me call. I think I know. And I'm like, hey. I asked him a question. He was like, wow, what's going on? I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was excited. And I cried even more.
Oh, man.
So I hung up with him because he made me mad. I was like, and so I told my sister, like, I didn't know what I want to do. I didn't want to be a mom because of my lifestyle, because how I planned it was whoever my life partner was going to be, she was going to carry the baby, like that. I didn't want to carry the baby. I didn't want to be pregnant. And so it was hard. Like, I think then I started getting, like, sad, like, and then I talked to my grandma about it, and she was happy. And then I don't think they know, but I went to the clinic, and I don't know, it must have been the grace of God, I guess. Yeah. My grandma called me, and she was like, I'm just calling to check on you. And I was like, Grandma, I don't know what to do. And she was like, you remember when we used to talk when you were younger and you said, if you ever got pregnant, what did you want? I said, a boy. And she said, this is your boy. And I'm like, Grandma, stop playing with me. Because if it's a girl, it's going to be a situation because I can't do hair. Yeah. I can't do nothing like that. And she said, it's a boy. Mm-hmm. And I walked out the clinic. And I went through pregnancy. I had a great pregnancy, no issues. Had not an issue with labor. 2.5, 3 hours? Everything went well. But the moment I came home from the hospital, that's when things changed. Yeah.
So going through your pregnancy, did you, at any point, did you like, I enjoy this, like I'm happy? Were there any regrets?
I think I was just going with it. I think I was just going with the flow because I had to, and he's here. Everybody questioned. It was a question like, and I didn't say much. They used to say, like, who's the father? I'd be like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I used to tell everybody I was married.
Yeah.
It was like, everybody would ask who was the father. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Because also who I was pregnant by didn't want it. Like, it was just a lot of factors with that. I think seeing him move, it did do a little something, but I think I was concerned that I wasn't going to have that motherly instinct feeling type thing.
Yeah.
Because I was just going with the flow. I was still going out. I was still having fun. I was still doing things. Mm-hmm. And tell my mom at my 8th month, she was like, you got to sit down. And I'm like, even though I struggled to get out of that bed, I was still going. And she was like, you have to sit down. And I was like, all right. Yeah. I was going to high school basketball games and stuff. So I sat down.
Yeah.
And then he came.
I think during my pregnancy, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do the maternity pictures. I think at that point, I had, like, my stomach grew overnight.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm tired. I'm not sleeping. I would wake up every couple hours. I'm like, I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
But eventually, like, I forced myself to, like, all right, this is my first. Let me, I did the pictures. We did the baby shower and all of those things. And, once he was here, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better. I got all this weight off of me now. Yeah. But was his dad present during your pregnancy?
On and off. Okay. It was more of like he wanted to be with me and I didn't want to be with him. So we clashed a lot. It just, me and him just clashed. But I worked all the way till my 8th month. Mm. I'm telling you, they had to tell me sit down. Like I think 9th, because I remember I was having contractions. And my boss was like, you have to go home. Yeah. And mind you, I was living with my best friend at the time when I was pregnant. And I moved home because my mom was like, come home with family. And so I was driving an hour and some change to work every day, Monday through Friday, in a warehouse. I was working in a warehouse at CompUSA because that's the only way I could sit. And so I did that all the way up to like into my 8th, and then I was having some contractions, and they was like, "Yeah, Tanya, you," and I'm like, "I'm all right." And they were like, "No, you gotta go home." Yeah. So I was very active. I was very active.
I'm sure that helped the pregnancy too.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and water. I'm telling you, anybody who's pregnant,
lots of water
and exercise.
Got it.
Yes.
So you said labor was like 2 to 3 hours.
I woke up at 2. Well, before then, I walked like 2 miles, and I felt weird. I said, "Mom, can you sleep with me?" She was like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Just sleep with me." And I woke up too, and I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, so I went to the bathroom. When I came back, I was like, "Mom, I'm just feeling weird." And then at 5, I was like, "Okay, there's some pain there."
Yeah.
And by the time I got to the hospital, because we had to drive to Richmond, because we didn't have, delivery, labor and delivery there. So I had to drive, an hour to Richmond, hour and a half.
So you having contractions in the car?
In the car.
Oh.
By the time I got to the hospital, I was 6 centimeters.
Ooh.
And they was like, "Do you want the epidural now or no?" I was like, "No, I'm going to do it." And then during labor, he was so long. He was 22, 23 inches long. And every time I contract, he will bulge out. And when he bulged, I would vomit. So they was like, "Yeah, we can't let this keep happening. We're going to have to give you the epidural." So we did the epidural. I slept through the whole thing. They came and checked me. They was like, "It's time." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the epidural too. I felt those contractions. I was like,
Yeah, they something serious.
Give it to me. I don't want to feel it no more. So once you got home, how was life once you guys transitioned back home?
Got home to my mom's, and I don't know, Jay started crying, and he cried for 30 minutes. And I just yelled for my mom. I was like, I can't stop him from crying. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't stop from crying. And so I think she knew, because she just took him in the room. He quieted down, and then she, brought him back in the room. But every day I used to sit on the edge of the bed and look at him in the crib, and I was like, my mom would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "He's really mine." And she was like, "Tanya, that's your baby." And I was like, "He's mine." And it just seemed
unreal.
Yeah. It was just like, I had a baby. I have to take care of this human.
How old were you at that time?
23.
Okay.
Yeah, 23. And so it was a point in time when he was crying, and I just told my mom, I was like, "You have to come and get him, because I'm going to throw him out the window." And so my mom was like, "Tanya, you have to go to the doctor." I went to the doctor. They said I was going through postpartum. And me not wanting to be a mom was probably part of it too. Dealing with the father was probably part of it too. And I think the idea of slowing down. I enjoyed my life before I got pregnant. And so the idea of slowing down and taking care of a child, it messed me up a little bit.
So I know with postpartum, when you go to the doctor, they make you fill out that questionnaire. Like, do you want to take your life, or what did postpartum look like for you? Like, what were the stages that you went through?
It's just, I didn't want to do anything. I just would just look at them. It took me a while to be hands-on. My mom helped. She came in the room, got him, and stuff like that. And I just did not, they say you have to breastfeed. I was uncomfortable. We wasn't connecting. Me and Jay was not connecting at that moment. And I started crying about that. And they was like, "This is something you're supposed to do, Mom." And it was just so many components. I felt like I don't have this motherly, nurturing thing. I just feel like I got to do it because I have to. Yeah. And it just became I didn't want to do it. But it was a moment. He was sick, and we kept taking him to the doctor, and they kept saying it was bronchitis. And I guess I did have the instinct, because I heard him take his last breath. And I never forget, I picked him up. I ran out with nothing, whatever I had on, no shoes, and we left and went to the hospital. And that's when I found out about croup. When they lift up his shirt, his ribs and everything was caved in when he was trying to breathe. And that moment, I was like, yeah, I gotta protect my kid. I gotta do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old was he when that happened?
I want to say like 6 months, maybe just a little bit older. Yeah, because I didn't know the symptoms, like when they sound hoarse. But when I took him to the doctor, they kept saying bronchitis, do this. It was nothing working. And then it's just, I don't know what happened. It's just how he did it. It was like, and it was just like, that was it. And I just scooped him, and we all went to the hospital.
So what happened once you guys got there? Like, what did
they
have
rushed
to do?
him in the back. They put him in a little machine to give him like air and stuff, like I guess Buterol and things like that. It took good maybe three or 4 rounds of Buterol just for him to come to. We was in the hospital overnight. Yeah. So that was scary.
I can imagine.
That was scary.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And then of course I started blaming myself, cause I'm like, I should have known it was something else. And yeah.
You're new.
I know, I was new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we like you said, we carry a lot. And I think sometimes we beat ourselves up like, oh man, I should have picked up on this. Or I didn't sleep. I feel like when Zai came home, I didn't sleep for probably the first 6 months. And when I say I didn't sleep, like it was broken up because every little noise, just everything like woke me up. Yeah. The lawnmower could be going off, somebody could be yelling at us. I didn't hear that, but anything he did, I heard. Yeah. So it's like that. It just kicked in for me. But I get it though, because I'm probably sure there's certain things I missed. I'm like, I probably could have caught that sooner. So I think we all sometimes feel that guilt of not catching things sooner. Yeah. So once you guys went home, was he feeling better or?
Yeah, it was a process. Okay. Just, giving him like treatments and stuff like that. But I think right then that's when I started holding him and started protecting him.
That connection started.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, this is mine. I got to take care of him because like, I don't, I love kids. I love babies. It's just hard to accept that he was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like other people's kids, I know I can just leave.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. So he's 6 months. He's home now. What is it called? What is it called? Croup. Now is that something like what causes that? Did they say?
It's something that babies get. Because he was in the house majority of the time. Only time we left was to go to like the doctor's appointments. But they say it's just sometimes babies get croup, and the main what you have to hear for is a hoarse. Like if they cough or when they cry, they sound hoarse. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so, yeah.
Okay. So now we're building a connection. Yeah. The time is going. So is Dad coming around and getting him, or it's just you? Right, you and your mom.
It's just me. I did take him over the house, over his house a few times, but he didn't like the fact that my mom was like, "You can't sleep here. You can come here, right, but you can't sleep here." Yeah. And he was like, "That's my kid." It became, and so
you saw my face like saying,
just you can be here all day, but you can't sleep here, and I don't want you to sleep here anyway. Yeah. So, but it was just another excuse for him to not like really be here. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So.
Okay. So did you slow down once?
I did.
Okay.
For a little bit.
Okay. So tell me what happened. What made you wanted to get up and go again?
Well, he had a lot of grandparents.
Okay.
And they like to alternate weekends. So I had a lot of free weekends. Okay. And so I started going out. And I started liking it a little bit too much. Like, this is freedom. That's what I want to do. When my mom used to tell me, like, you can't go, you need to stay home with your child, it used to make me, like, mad. I'm like, forget it, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
And then that became a problem. Like, you're not taking him? I'm like, yeah, I'm taking him. If I gotta stay here and I can't go nowhere because I have to take him.
Yeah.
But he did. He came to the malls with me and stuff. He did things, with me. It just was hard. It was just hard. Like, I wanted to go to the carnival. I wanted to go to, basketball games. I wanted to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I guess at this point you're still home with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
When did you decide to like leave or move out or go back on your own?
So me and my mom, we always had a complicated like relationship as I was, when I was younger. When I was pregnant, smooth. When I had Jay, smooth. But I still was living, going back and forth between Newport News working and then finding a babysitter. And then when I got the opportunity for the job in Richmond, I, told her, like, I want to go to Richmond and try to do something there.
Mm-hmm.
And the conversation didn't go well because it was basically, I was like, can you just watch him for, like, until I get myself together? And then that was a issue. We got into an argument, and I just remember, I don't know exactly how the argument went. I just know I left out the house with my son, and I walked to a neighbor house and got my aunt to pick me up. And so my stepdad, he came, and he was like, Tanya, just let us take Jay. And I was like, I was hesitant because I felt bad, but I knew he would have been safe. And I left.
Pause. So how long did it take you to process that moment of, okay, I'm about to give up? Did you give up your rights?
No.
Okay.
I just let him stay with my parents.
So they just had him full time.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your head? Like, how did you feel? Like, how did you process? Okay.
A lot of guilt. But I felt like it was something I needed to do at the same time because I also felt like I wasn't going to grow anymore back at home. And then, like I said, me and my mom relationship was complicated at that time. Mm-hmm. And so it was a lot of guilt. But what I did create a routine. So I will set up my job where I have 2 straight days off. I will go home every week, be with my son, take him to school or whatever it made. And I gave my mom money, food stamps, whatever they wanted or needed. I got his clothes and stuff like that. And I would get on spring break, summer, so it was just something like that. And I did that for 9 years.
That's a long time.
Because I felt guilty, though. I felt so wrong because I was his mom, and now it's like his mom is temporary and his dad is not there.
Yeah.
All he got is grandparents.
How was your mental state, like, having to deal with that guilt all the time? Did you deal with that for the full 9 years, or? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And then when I came home, I noticed, like, behaviors. He was just, like, by the time he was 2.5, 3 years old, he was angry, and he would have these tantrums where we had to, like, restrain him. And I took him to the doctor, and they was like, we're going to send him to the children's hospital to see, I think she was a psychologist or something. And that's when they told me he had Asperger's, ODD, and ADHD.
Okay, so for people that don't know, what is Asperger's?
So Asperger's now is autism.
Okay. Like one of the spectrums. Or,
yeah.
Okay.
And then oppositional defiance.
Okay.
And then ADHD. Pretty much all the children have it these days, now they say. But he had that. And so now, me being away, my mom and dad have him. And he have this thing.
Yeah.
And, they tell you, oh, he's not going to be able to tie his shoes. He's not going to be able to live a normal life. He's not going to do none of these. Now that put more stress
more pressure,
on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, now what, man? So now it's just like in the car, like, God, why?
Yeah.
Why me? What did I do so wrong? It was one of those moments. Yeah. Like, you gave me a kid, but now you gave me a kid with a disability. And I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that was till eventually, but fully understand it until I got in the mental health field. So just imagine they telling you your kid is not going to be, can't skate, can't ride a bike, can't do regular things. That's
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a solid ride back home, trying to process that and look at all the paperwork, and it was just a lot, going to see psychologists, psychiatrists. They say he needed medication, and me, I don't know that. Put him on medication. I felt like it didn't, it did more harm than good. He was having I always had to come home because he was having behaviors in school. And then I was blaming myself because I was like, I'm the reason, because he's probably acting out because I'm not there all the time. So it was a rough 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot to carry.
Yeah. And then he didn't get the education because in Lancaster, they didn't have those tools for kids like him. They just named him as a bad child. Oh, he's just a disturbed child. No.
Wow.
So they didn't know how to handle him in school. So they always kicked him out of school. And then they put us on a 504 plan. I didn't know nothing about a 504 or IEP. So it was just a lot of trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did your parents take the information? Like finding out, he has all this stuff going on. Were they we'll still take care of him?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. They still took care of him.
Okay.
I think at some point they were probably in denial. At one point, and then it was a point that they probably used it as a crutch, like, oh, Tanya, he don't mean it, because he have autism. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't care. He's normal to me.
Yeah. And
we're going to treat him as such. He's still going to, get timeouts. He's still going to have, certain things in place. But it was hard. Yeah. Like, my mom would call me, JD did something at school.
Yeah.
He tore up an art room. I'm like, oh my God. It was tough. But
and you're not there.
So, yeah, I'm not there. Yeah. But also the teachers too, they didn't understand. So instead of them, de-escalating, they escalated him. And when he got there and it's hard to calm him down. It took at least 30, 45 minutes.
Wow. At this stage, how old is he now?
This stage, kindergarten, because we found out he was 3 and he was fine. He wasn't at the YMCA, they had little school, pre-K. I've noticed that they say he would be to himself and he wouldn't go to the bathroom, because I think they had the potties lined up or something, and he was shy, and they were just telling me, he had a bad day, or he was, alone, he didn't want to engage. So I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then they didn't tell me nothing about transitioning him from one place to another. So when he turned 5 and he went to kindergarten, man, he cried the whole day, the first day. And he did it for a week.
Wow.
I didn't know how to train. I just, drop him off. It's kindergarten, drop you off school.
Yeah, they cry for the first day and then, that's it.
No, his was, it went on weeks.
Wow.
It went on weeks.
What did you do?
I went to the school. They sometimes they kept sending us home. And then finally they had somebody come to the school who was in the field of mental health. So she was telling me about the 504 program and stuff like that. It was just all coming so fast and just trying to just soak it all in.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. And so by the time he got to Chesterfield, at 9, he was in 4th grade, they told me he had a 2nd grade level education, because they kept putting him out of school.
So at that point, because the resources wasn't there back home, you decided, I'm going to just bring him to Richmond.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How was that transition?
Stressful.
Yeah.
Because he's used to my mom and my dad. And he didn't want to be there. And I was looking like, I don't want you here either. It was stressful.
Yeah.
It was a stressful moment. I think my partner at the time, she was very helpful. She had more patience than I did. Because I was only with him, 2 days out the week. Get him, So having him full time, stressful.
Yeah.
And he would just, you're not my mom. We had to go through that phase. And I want my grandma. And had to go through that phase. And
how did that make you feel?
Hurt.
Yeah.
I cried. He never seen me cry, but I used to go in the room and cry.
Yeah.
And then I used to tell my partner, I don't think I could do this. I think he's right. I think I might have to send him back.
You have to make me cry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was still trying to figure out if I wanted him full time.
Yeah.
And then at that time, my mom was like, you're going to send him back. But I had something to prove. When she said that, then I had something to prove.
Okay.
And so, it was hard. It was hard. I was just doing things to just make him feel comfortable, like, buying him things and taking him out, showing him that, Chester is cool. And so then it came to school. I had talked to the assistant principal. I had talked to her before, and I told her everything. I had all the paperwork. And she was like, oh, we got it. And so he went to school, and he had his first tantrum. He cussed at the assistant principal, I think. I don't know if I can cuss on him, but he said some words. Yeah. And she called and said they had put him in another classroom. And so my partner went up to school because I was in school full time and I was working also. And she thought, oh, we're going to have to take him home. They were like, oh, no, you're not taking him home. I'm like, what? It was like, yeah, he having a moment. We just want a parent to come up here, talk him down a little bit. But he's going back to class.
Okay.
So I felt supported at that point.
Okay. Because there's more resources here. Okay.
They had a team. They had an autism team.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
What school was he going to?
ECOF.
Okay.
Yeah, ECOF. And so they had an autism team. He had a case manager. He had all these resources. If he had his moment, they would put him in a different room. He didn't like loud noises. They let him have a fidget spinner because at one point they wasn't letting him have it in school. They took him outside when he was overstimulated. So they really were helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his behaviors were mostly like just acting out or, okay.
But I found out it's like back at home, he was being picked on.
Oh, okay.
And he couldn't tell, like, he didn't know how to, he just reacted instead of like telling his teacher.
Okay.
So, because, with autism, the social aspect was, you had to, help with that because they don't know. Yeah. So I had him in social skills. I had him in so many programs to help because, like,
so we gonna figure this thing out.
Yeah, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, he was in intensive in-home, so he had another case manager outside of school. So it was like, okay, I felt supported. Back at home, it was like no support, so it was just like I was spiraling because I was like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, maybe God placed you in the mental health field because he knew.
Right.
And this is, I'm sure you've thought the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So now when it's like a parent who said they have a kid with autism, I'm like ready to give them all the resources, like all of it. Put them, and I tell them, I know it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But they need a strict plan, a strict routine. They need to be in social skills. They need speech therapy. You need to have an IEP plan, and you can do your IEP. Like, don't tell them no, you create that.
Okay.
Because one thing I found out, like, they'll tell you what he needs, but no, like I was able to like he struggled in math, so he was able to use a calculator. He struggled with reading, so they did like audibles and stuff like that. Okay. They gave me extra work like flashcards. So it was just like you have to take control, and they were open. They was like, they was one thing they like is a parent that's very involved. Yeah.
Because you can't leave it up to them.
Yeah.
My best friend, all three of her kids, they have autism, and they like a strict routine, and I've seen it. If they go out of routine at all, like it's a switch that just flips, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So when we talk about it, she's like, yeah, if I have to do this, and that, and she said, at school they do perfectly fine. When they get home, it's different. So her thing now is trying to stick with the same routine at school, and that's what helps them to flow, or helps with the behavior. Yeah. So if some parents are in denial. Yes. So what would you tell a parent that they see the behavior but they don't want to accept it? What would you tell them to do?
Research.
Okay.
Research it. I've seen now it's a lot of videos on TikTok where they posting their children with autism and they give you tips and things like that. But I say research it, especially with kids that are nonverbal. I tell them, hey, get an iPad. They have apps for kids with autism. They have apps for them to communicate. But you have to have patience. Yeah. You have to have patience with them. And I know it's hard. It was hard for me. My patience, it was hard. It was just, it's just sticking with the routine. And in case you go off, how to handle that situation. But it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a village, even if it's the school, even if it's intensive in-home. You just need to build a village around you. Yeah. And then you just need to understand what you're dealing with and how to proceed. Like they have a thing, I looked up Toni Braxton. Her son was autistic, and she spoke on Autism Speak. So I looked that up and found out they had a lot of apps, they had a lot of resources and things like that. So I started diving into that. Yeah. And then I just started researching in Richmond area, in Chester area, what resources were available. I went to 3 schools before I chose ECOF to see what kind of programs they had. Then I had to find an apartment in that district because it's so small. So I had to find a school because I wanted him to go to the best school. Yeah. So, yeah, it's patience. I mean, I know you're in denial and it's hard to accept. It still was hard for me to accept. Yeah. I was in denial for a while, and it's just, I just wanted him to live a normal life as he could. Yeah.
What is the dangers of waiting too late to get help?
It's going to be hard to control the behaviors. Yeah. Because I've seen like some kids get physical because you don't understand them. Like the behaviors get worse. And like they just not going to grow mentally. Yeah.
Gotcha. Was he nonverbal at all, or he spoke?
He just had a stutter. He had a stutter real bad. I noticed, like, I knew something was going on because, like, he had the blocks with the letters on there, and he was playing with the blocks, and he spelled cat. I was like, how you know how to do that? Yeah. I ain't even get to words. We still on ABCs. And, so it was just like, okay, what's this? Yeah. So, try to learn them. Like, you got to listen. You got to watch them and just figure out what their triggers are, but also what calms them. Like, he loved to draw. He loved tornadoes, and he would draw tornadoes. It'd be different tornadoes, but that was what comforted him. Yeah. Yeah. So just be interested in what they're doing, but also just trying to keep that routine. And I had like posters, like calendars, put stuff in his bathroom, reminders, and like just trying.
Yeah.
And that part was hard, just the routine of it. Because I be wanting to go outside.
So your life is now completely shifted with him being with you.
Yeah.
So how are you as a mom, as an individual outside of being a mom, how are you dealing with all of that? Are you happy? How are you and your partner doing during that time? Because that's a huge...
it was tough.
Okay.
It was tough in the household, you know.
Yeah.
It was difficult. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your relationship like with your son today?
Oh man, we're
Look at
better.
That smile.
We're better.
Yeah.
I think when he turned 14 and he went to high school, I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this is a different breed.
Yeah.
Like, these kids are going to mess with my son. I was scared he was going to get bullied.
Yeah.
But he was so excited. And I like the fact that Chesterfield, for like freshmen, they let you come to school a day early to get, you know, acclimated to the, you know, the school and stuff.
Okay.
And so he went in, he was excited, and he started getting friends. He didn't have friends until he started high school.
Oh, wow.
Because Bird had a lot of kids with disabilities. Like, some of his friends, I didn't even know they had disabilities. And he was like, oh, yeah, Mom. I was like, really?
Yeah.
But, you know, they could relate. They hung out. They had fun. But then as he got older, he started getting calmer. His behaviors were different. That's why I say it was so many phases.
Yeah.
And so he was calm. And then I'm looking at him weird, like, why are you so calm? What's wrong? I'm thinking something wrong.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you're so calm.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to him. I'm like,
Well, so when did he start calling you Mom? Because I know when he came with you, or did he always call you
he called
Mom?
me Mom. So my son have a thing. He give people nicknames.
Okay.
All right. So I'm Mothers.
Mothers.
I don't know why he do that. I'm Mothers. And then my mom is Ma.
Okay.
And then he calls both his grandfathers Dad.
Okay.
Okay. And then his aunt, her name is Bree. He called her LaBerna. Don't ask me why. Like, he have his own way, and people be like, you just let him. I was like, that's how he connect. If that's how he connect with people and remember, then we let him give us these nicknames. Yeah. So he sometimes call my mom Richie. That's her last name. He be like Richie, and she be like Laws.
Yeah.
But some people like, that's disrespectful. But we got to meet him where he at.
Right.
He don't mean no disrespect. He just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think teenage years was good. It had its moments, I needed his uncles to chime in and help me as him becoming a man, like a young man. Him asking me questions. I'm like, I'm going to have to call your granddaddy on that one.
Yeah.
He started getting curious, and now I think when he started high school, I think my anxiety was up to the roof. Like, it just was a scary world. Like, kids in high school,
they're ruthless out here today.
Yes, man, yes. And the stuff they talk about, I be like, oh my. You know what I'm saying? So I was just scared for him, like how he's going to handle all of this. But he handled it with like a champ. He struggled. There was times he struggled with time management. Like, he needed extra time. Like, we had an IEP, like extra time to complete tasks. He didn't really get homework because we made sure in school he would be in a class to do his homework because it would be overstimulating for him. That was a big thing, him going through school. Like, we stopped homework. They put him, like, in a class where he can do his work before he come home because, we used to fight all the time because he was just done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when I try to give him breaks, he was just done. But he just changed. He just started getting a divorce, and he just started maturing.
Yeah.
And then, as a regular kid, started lying, trying to get away with stuff, and like act like you ain't never been a teenager before.
Right.
But it's still another phase. High school was a phase, and now I'm dealing with a 20-year-old.
Okay. Well, we transition into another stage. Did he go to prom and do all those things?
Yes.
Okay.
He went to prom. He went to the dances.
Oh, nice.
He did programs like after school. Like he did a lot in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
He tried for, I think, King. Yeah, he tried for everything. Like, one thing, he was never scared. That's one thing I could appreciate. He wasn't scared. Like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So, I'm just glad I instilled that in him. Like, I don't care what you got going on. You're normal to me. You can do whatever anybody else do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now we're trying to work on independence.
Okay.
Because
he's still home with you now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell everybody, I got a broke roommate.
Yeah.
Because, when they turn 18, they got to be on your lease. In the apartment. I was like, what?
Really? I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
That must be something new.
I don't know. They was like, you got to put your... Yeah, he was no longer an occupant. Because he was 18, now he's my roommate.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that must be something new, because I've never heard of that.
I don't know. I just know when he do leave, he gonna have some good credit with finding an apartment. Yeah, I tell him, I was like, my broke roommate. I said, I'm paying all the bills, and he's just there.
Wow.
But he had a job.
Okay.
He had a job at Food Line.
Okay.
He
driving?
No, we still working on it.
Okay.
Still working on him passing the test.
Okay.
Yeah, but
he wants to do it. Like, he has that drive to,
That's the next phase that's gonna have me scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Driving. We working towards. He in a DARS program, and they helping with, like, getting prepared for his learners, and then also employment and school.
Okay.
So he just got accepted at J. Sarge for baker and pastry.
Oh, nice.
He found his calling because for years he was like, I want to be a storm chaser.
Yeah.
No. You don't want to be nothing else? I'm going to chase storms. I'm going to chase tornadoes. But he's still good at that, because he'll look outside and he'll say, that is some type of cloud, and it is about to rain.
And it starts raining.
Yeah, it's weird. And he's not scared of storms. Like, he would stand in it if I let him. I'm like, boy, get your butt in this house.
And I'm over here closing the blinds if I see lightning.
Back in the day, your mama tell you sit in the hallway. It's lightning sitting in that hallway, okay? Don't be by that window.
Right.
Yeah, he right there at the window looking to my mom, look at it. I'm like, I'm not going to that window.
Look, I'm over here unplugging TVs.
Yeah. Quiet.
Right.
Lights off. Like, why are we doing this? Oh,
that is too funny.
But yeah, it was just challenging.
Yeah.
The first phase was transitioning for me to be a full-time parent, and him trying to understand me. I'm trying to understand him. And then it's just different phases of school. But now he's 20 and he's trying to do some things in his life. And I'm proud because he's just doing it.
Yeah.
He's not afraid. And I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
As I'm listening to your story, you went through a lot of stages.
Yeah.
And I can see that, regardless of if you questioned if you should be a mom or why God chose you, those instincts automatically kicked in at whatever stages you guys were at.
Yeah.
And I saw, like, you got the help. You wanted to do it regardless of how you felt. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I'm going to tell everybody, you're going to be in your room crying.
Yeah.
It's going to be those moments, but do it. Cry. I journaled. Like, I had that moment with God all the time. And I just prayed, like, just get me through tomorrow. Just get me through today. Like, I just had that moment. I asked for strength every day. I asked for patience every day. Yeah. And every time it seemed hard, I see myself, okay, I accomplished that. Yeah. Okay, we got past that phase. Now we're going into this next phase. Yeah. So I just tell people, like, it's patience. Pray. Ask for God for whatever you need from him and to give it to you, because it's hard. It's hard with children with any disability.
Yeah.
So especially when you're a single parent, and then like you said, your friend have 3 children with us. I can only imagine. Like, I'm at them, like, when we get off here, I'm about to give you all the programs because I can only imagine.
Yeah.
It was hard with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted a sibling. I said, no way.
Get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, my sister is going to have children one day. They can be your siblings.
Yeah.
But he, I like where I'm at, but this phase is a little hard too because, just trying to get him independent. Yeah. Like, because he's so dependent on me right now, I want him to take on some responsibilities because I'm in a phase, I'm being tired because I have to take him to school. I have to take him to his program, but I also have to work. And then he got, therapy. And then I have therapy. And, all our appointments. And I'm always going. Monday through Friday, I'm going. And then my weekends, I'm like, I barely want to do anything.
Right.
I just want to be at home. And I told him Friday, I was like, hey, Saturday is my self-care day, okay? And it's just me. And so he was like, well, I'm going to stay with my best friend. I was like, what? This house is going to be quiet? But then when he was gone, I was like, this house is too quiet.
I miss my roommate.
Yeah. And I'm checking his location. Okay, he's there. But, and then, but I had that Saturday. It was beautiful. Like, I took myself out to lunch and got a haircut and got my feet done.
Yeah.
And it felt good. And then he came home. I felt like I was reset. And he just told me about his day. And now we're about to start our week. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But it's hard to get that time, though. That's once in a lifetime for me. But I also, like, find something. Go in your room. I used to go in my room and play games. But go in your room and do something, like read. I read. But you have to find something if you can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How has therapy helped you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It showed that it wasn't my fault. It took some guilt away. I still have a little guilt, but it just made me realize I can't chase the time and just enjoy what I have now. Because I used to replay it like I should have took him with me. But then if I did, where would we be? Like, would we be homeless? You know what I'm saying? It would have been stuff like that. Like, how would I take care of him? Because, I only have one job, but what if I have to work? And then I didn't know nothing about daycare in the city and things like that. We had daycare with, a great aunt or somebody who will watch your kid. And so I feel like I made the right choice, but still sometimes it's just like I should have, figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does your healing look like today?
My healing between my therapist and his therapist, it helps both of us to understand each other and to know that none of this was my fault. Yeah. My childhood wasn't my fault. Me, like not being stable to have my son. But I need to accept that I got my son. Because some people don't go back for their kids. But I got my son. And so my healing, just knowing that he is who he is. And I am who I am right now. Like, I was angry with God for years. But I found my way back. So I have been really deep diving into spirituality, getting, to fall in love with God. Because my journey was I was looking for love from people and not loving myself. And so sitting with that and loving yourself, that's hard. Taking yourself on solo dates. People are like, how you do it? I go on solo trips. I just do it. And I just do what I want. And so working on self-love, I read a self-love book. I read, devotional. So, and I just pray. I pray every day, for the strength for whatever may come. So it just was a lot of self-love. Understanding that I didn't need, a lot of, I was just looking for that love. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even thinking about loving myself. I just wanted people to pour into me because I was so empty. Mm-hmm. And didn't know I had to pour into myself. I was the only one that knew myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we all struggle with that at some point in life. So I understand.
Yeah. So I just started working on pouring into myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a journey in itself. I think that's going to be another podcast.
Yeah.
Self-love.
We'll have you back on.
Yeah. But, motherhood is, like I said, I don't care. 2-parent household, single parent. It's all on us, the mothers. Yeah, we have help, but it's still all on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you tell your 23-year-old self today?
You're strong. You can do anything you put your mind to it. Because I had a lot of self-doubt about myself. Just life in general. I didn't go to college right after. I was a late bloomer. So basically saying you did it. Yeah. You here. The job ain't over, but you have made a good life for yourself. Yeah.
So who's Tanya today?
Tanya today is...
Is she still outside or we
no.
inside? And I'm just joking.
No, she actually slowed down. Okay. I think Tanya today is very calm, reserved. I still like joking. I like hanging with my friends, but I don't go out to clubs. I just like to spend time at home, read, play my game. I work a lot, but I have a goal I'm working towards. And after I achieve that goal, I'm done. But wiser, understand you can only control what you can. Some things is out of your control, and you have to just accept that. And loving yourself is probably the best antidote to get through anything. Yeah. So it took a long time. It took 40 years. I'm 43 now. Okay. But when I hit 40, it was something different. Yeah.
What do you think shifted for you at 40?
I no longer wanted to cry. I no longer wanted to hurt. I no longer wanted to take on other people's energies because I'm an empath. I had to learn how to just focus on self, be there, but not take on somebody else's problem. I had a lot of friends. Like I have this one friend, and it's funny we talked about it. I needed some medicine, and she gave me $100, and I looked at her. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "What's wrong with you?" And she was like, "You said you need medicine." I was like, "Nah, you good." Because I didn't know how to receive help outside. Like never had like people like wanted to do that. So it was just like she taught me like when you have somebody there for you, allow it to happen. I still to this day but like when I talk about something and I was like, I just want to apologize if it's too heavy. She was like, I wish you stopped doing it. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but I have came a long way though.
I can tell in just the few minutes that we've been sitting here.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was living through your lens, and I was like, okay. And I see the growth. Yeah. I see the woman that you are today, and that was heavy. But like your truth is your truth. Yeah. And there's people out there that's probably dealing, way worse.
And therapy is helpful. Yeah. Therapy for your children, therapy for you. Because we do family therapy too. Because like at this age is like we still trying to build on trust, because he just, when they get older, they think they grown. I'm like, okay. But, therapy definitely helped me. And I went through 2 to 3 therapists before I found the one. Yeah. And he helped me through a lot of things. And I put a lot of things in perspective for me. Yeah. Yeah.
What's one truth about motherhood that people don't say out loud? I think for me, it would be, I think it was a lot that you touched on, that we carry the load.
We carry the load, but I don't think they understand, like, behind the closed doors. Because when we come out of that door, we show a face, right? We mask it all. I mean, unless, you have good friends, they know, but we mask it. We go out and we smile and we do our normal routine, but they don't understand when the moment we walked into the house, and the moment you go in your room and you just lay there and just look at the ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't think, a lot of people understand, like, motherhood is it's a job, a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So taking care of home, taking care of a child, that's a full-time job. And also trying to find time.
Yeah, find that balance.
Yeah. Because, like, you go to work, child go to school, you got to do the homework. Now you got to cook. Then you got to do this. Then you got to take to the appointment. It's just trying to find the time.
Yeah.
It feel like it's not enough time.
It's not.
It feels like, it's just like, and then by the time you get to bed, it's like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you got to wake up and do it again.
Yeah.
That's tough. You just lay there in the morning, you be like, God, just get me through this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, throughout my pregnancy, after my pregnancy, even up till today, it's like I'm calling on God, because I don't know where I'm getting the strength from. And I think it's just only from him, because it is a lot. Like, think about all you just said: cook, clean, work. You still have to worry about the child, worry about yourself, taking care of yourself. And I think a lot of moms get lost in, we're so focused on our kids, we lose ourselves.
Yes.
So I like the fact that you do take that time. You recognize that you need that time to get that, take that self-care day for yourself. And I think it's very important.
Because I went many years not knowing who I was. I went many years not knowing my, like, I used to ask God, what's my purpose? This can't be my purpose.
Yeah.
Like, so to know that I'm here, like, my purpose is, I was meant to have a child with autism. Because now I can help other moms.
Yeah.
I can help, I can give advice. I could be on this platform.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I now look at it in a different way. At first I thought it was punishment. I thought it was a punishment from God.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Yeah.
But now it's a blessing, because he helped me mature in a lot of ways. He see things, like, with relationships. He was like, Mom, you just need to stay single. I was like, you might be right, son. Like, who are you telling me that? But he was just like, Mama, you need to take it. And he noticed, like, when I come home, he was like, you had a long day at work. And he'll tell me, go to bed. Like, he's like that, So just knowing that he's in this space and I raised an all right kid, you know what I'm saying?
I think he did a hell of a job.
Yeah. Because I used to tell him, and I was like, he was bad. Yeah. He was like, I know, Mom. But he was like, I didn't, he said, I blacked out. I didn't understand. And I said, yeah, we figured that out.
Did he ever ask you, like, about your lifestyle, not dating men and,
Never questioned it. He just, he never questioned it. The only thing he really questioned was, Mom, why you cut your hair off? But he didn't question about who I loved. And I don't think that was it was an issue. When I was with my partner, it was just like, I have two moms. That's how he felt. Yeah. He never, like, he did question about, like, his dad. I told him a few things, but then as he got older, he started questioning. I just, I was honest about me and his dad. So he kind of understand, but he see it for himself. Okay. I never spoke ill of his dad. Like, I never talked bad about his dad. I let him go through that experience. And I think also that's what mothers do wrong, too. Because, like, if you let him reach out and you don't get a response, or his dad make promises and his false promises, you just need to be there to support them and help them get through those emotions.
Yeah.
But then eventually when they get older, they be like, okay, my dad don't want to be
myself.
here. Yeah. And it's not me putting it in his head. I let him experience that, And because he was a young boy and he asked his dad whether he was like, why you don't come to my birthday parties? His dad really didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
I was shocked when he said, I was like, oh my God. But he was always that kind of person. He was curious. So it was just like, I tell moms, like, I didn't argue with the dad. I mean, we had something in the past, but I don't speak to his father. I'm not going to fight for you to be in his life. If you don't want to be there, that's fine. Yeah. We have a village. Yeah. And so I just let Jay, figure it out on his own how he wanted that relationship to be. Yeah. And so, he told me, he was like, Dad, be like, do you need money? He was like, nah, my mom got me.
I know that's right.
So he figured that part on his own. I didn't want to talk about his dad because I just I didn't want him to look at his dad like that. I needed him to experience it himself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's important because I feel like a lot of moms, because the situation turned out not how they wanted, they become bitter and they paint this picture paint this picture of the dad. Oh, he's not this, he's not that. But allow that child to paint that picture themselves. Like, let them go through it. Yeah. And to me, I don't like that. And I see that a lot that moms do. What would you tell mothers not to do in those situations where the dad is not present? Like, what is one thing you'll tell them, like, don't do this?
Don't try to force them to be a father. They will be a father if they want to be a father. Yeah. You're stressing yourself out and your kid. Yeah. Because now you're at home crying. You know what I'm saying? And the kid is there seeing you cry. One thing I tried not to do when Jay was young, I tried not to let him see me cry, when I'm feeling a certain type of way of motherhood or frustrated with something. So you have to just learn to accept, and that's hard. Yeah. I think I had it a little easier because I didn't want to be with a dad, but I feel like with mothers who be trying to force the father to be a father, what I say, you can't control, you know what I'm saying? You only can control what you can. You can't control another human being. Yeah. Yeah.
What would you tell a mom today that had this plan, right, of being a mom, I'm going to be with my partner, this is how it's going to go, but God said, no, I'm going to shift this around, and this is what your life is going to be, and you become a mom unexpectedly? What would you tell her if she's, like, in doubt, fear, just scared, knowing that her plan didn't go the way she wanted to? What would you tell them to navigate through the unknown or the unexpected?
Just do it. Step out on faith. Just know that he's not going to give you too much you can't handle. It might, seem dark, but it's always the light at the end. You just have to push through. But like I said, go in your room and cry. Do what you have to do for yourself to get those emotions. Maybe therapy would help. But just keep pushing, Try to focus more on yourself and your children than the other person, But it's hard. I know I'm saying this, but going through it was hard. So you just gotta pour into you. But that's, like you said, you lose yourself because when you're with a partner, you put all your hope in a 2-parent household, and so when it doesn't happen, you feel like you're a failure. Yeah. But you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not a failure. I'm telling you, God got something else for you. I don't know what it is. You're not going to know, but I bet you the day come, you'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was, right? Yeah. Right. But I just kept pushing. I kept pushing. But through the push, I was crying. I was fighting. It's been plenty of times I climbed up that mountain and fell back down. And I climbed again and I fell back down. It was times I wanted to give up. Like I said, I had lost my spiritual self. I was mad at God for a while. But then I understood being mad at him for a while. That wasn't helping either. So I just say, keep the faith. Mm-hmm. Just like if you start a business, you take that risk. You just have to take that risk that you're going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What's one thing you want people to take away from your story?
Being a single parent doesn't mean you fail. Mm-hmm. Being a single parent doesn't mean that you're not capable of being the mom you should be. It's okay. You're doing the best you can, the way you know. And just keep a strong village. And that could be friends, that can be family, that can be, like I said, mental health services. That can be anything, whatever you need, But you can do it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Love it. Now we have a tradition on this podcast.
All right.
Finish this sentence for me. Talk mom to me because
of strength, resilience. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm a badass, you know. I'm badass, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a mother because that's what I didn't know when I first had him. Yeah. Like, who is this human? Yeah. But I'm happy for the experience. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What would you tell your son when he sees this? What would you tell him?
Your mom did it, man. He gave me a hard time, but we did it. Me and him did it. You know, we did it together. Even though it was a fight between me and him, we on top, and we are in a better space. And
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you for sharing your story. I know this is going to touch a lot of women, fathers, families, because a lot of people are dealing with, autism now. I think it's more known. People know about it. People are talking about it, and you can diagnose kids now today properly. Yeah. So I hope this helps someone else. I hope it touched millions of people. And again, thank you. This is what Talk Mom to Me is about. It's a safe space for moms to share their stories. And
I love it.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We have so many more episodes coming up, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Woo, you did good. I think we need a shot after that one.
Yeah. Talk mom to me. Tell your truth. Let it be. From the mess to the magic we've seen. Yeah. We feel it all, we say it loud. You're not alone, you're in this crowd. Talk mommy to me. Real hearts, real talk, real moms on the line. Till next time, yeah, no one just fine.